This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. It's finally time to see 10 of the world's best teams on LAN, where one of the most illustrious trophies is up for grabs. You're going to see some rookies, you're going to see some veterans, you're going to see upsets, and anything can happen in this tournament. I'm your host, Yingsu. Welcome to the Riot Games Arena here in Berlin, Germany. I'm joined by Kakuka and Mitch, and dare I say it, for my favorite tournament of the year.
I mean, it has to be. It's the perfect close-in for every year. We get to see the teams. This is the one international global event that we have for Game Changers, and every year it has delivered.
Yeah, always going to be a little bit special as well, being in the home of EMEA here in Berlin.
Yes.
I'm excited to see those players step out on that stage after a little bit of a hiatus.
Oh yeah, a little bit, and also some new faces too. Obviously, as I was saying, we're going to see some veterans, some rookies, and also this year things are a little bit different. And who better to break it all down for you than the world champion coach herself? Here's Potter.
It's Silver Vermilion, or your Game Changers champions!
The 2024 Valorant Game Changers Championship begins November 8th. Here's what you need to know before the tournament begins. Valorant Game Changers Championship is the final event of the 2024 Game Changers Series. The world's top 10 teams will face off in Berlin, Germany to compete for global supremacy and the title of the VCT Game Changers World Champion. Teams attending the event earn their spots by winning major events or collecting the highest number of circuit points within their regions. The tournament will host representatives from North America, EMEA, APAC, China, Brazil, and Latin America.
It's time of Game Changers Championship.
From November 8th through the 17th, the Valorant Game Changers Championship will place 10 teams into a double elimination best-of-3 bracket. The top seeds from EMEA and the Americas will get a bye into the second round based on the strength of their region and historical performance. Teams will compete through a bracket until the final 2 matches, which will be a best-of-5. Make sure to tune into the grand final on November 17th, where the next Game Changers World Champion will be crowned. To learn more about the 2024 VCT Game Changers Championship, check out ValorantEsports.com and follow us at Valorant Esports for tournament updates. Good luck to all the competitors, and we'll see you make history in Berlin.
Honestly, if Potter is telling me to make history, I am making history at all costs. But this is the thing. We have some changes, and we have 10 teams this time. We have more. And that's very, very exciting for us.
Yeah, it absolutely is. As well, seeing those teams with double elimination as well, a chance to bounce back, which some teams that will come in as favorites, talking about someone like KRU, have already benefited from being able to climb back. So it's a very exciting time to see all these teams come to the international stage and a lot of debuts as well.
And we know how it is, right? Every single year, there's 1 or 2 teams that really dominate their regions, but it's about this. It's about when you come into the international stage, you can prove actually everything that you've been working on. So I'm saying for 2025, we do Masters Game Changers. If we have championship, I say we need another international event.
More teams.
Yes.
Specifically for Brazil as well. I'm on like a tirade of getting them more spots. But we also have another new addition, which is an MVP award. We're going to be awarding MVPs every single day, and also at the grand final as well at the very end of the tournament. After seeing the way that Kong Kong got his MVP, champs, I just want to know if any of our girls can sing, because I need one of them to, one-up him when they win MVP. How are you guys doing?
Who do you think would be the best singer if they win MVP?
I reckon someone like Fluorescent could put out a good beat. I don't know how you guys feel.
I feel like
I think that Mary would sing.
yes.
Mary
okay.
would sing.
Maybe
she would give it her all.
Smurfette, because she's like a really...
Swiftie?
Yeah,
Oh.
she's a big Swiftie, so I feel like she's going to be out here. But who knows? One of the MVPs could potentially go to some of our veterans, because there are a very, very important list of players that have never, ever missed champs before. And Kukuka, they're back again.
Absolutely love it. Petra and Mimi, probably the two most important names in Game Changers in EMEA. Their history from the moment that they joined the game, from the moment that they were the originals, everybody remembers them. Bromi and Conir as well, coming from Latin America. And Alexis and Mel, even when they were in Cloud9 the first time that we were here in Berlin. Right now, 4 of these players have won one of the championships, so let's see if the other 2 can get it.
Yeah, the other thing is, you're looking at a lot of these Mel, Petra, Mimi, a chance to go with 2 of those titles under their belt to make history. And sure, Petra, Mimi, and some of these players who came from that legendary roster already had a legacy in another esport, and they carried that on here. Now, it's a chance for Shopify Rebellion, a chance for someone like Mel to craft her own.
Yeah, and defending Berlin champs as well. There's so
Very
many
true.
storylines going on. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because if we take a look at the bracket, the road to get there is going to be tough. And Mitch, I feel like this might be the most competitive Game Changers champs we're ever going to see.
Oh, it most certainly is. I mean, even looking deep into that, the GX, MIBR, GX, with the map changes that we'll talk about later, might be affected. MIBR have been on an uptick and starting it out. I mean, KRU Zeta, that's a tough matchup for Zeta coming to this scene. We haven't seen a Japanese team here for quite a while, and now, well, they've got a tough opening matchup.
Yeah, exactly. But some of these teams had the chance to already play on LAN. You have that experience. You're not going to go that nervous onto the stage. For some of the rookies, it's literally the first time. We're also going to see some, last-minute changes and things happening here and then. But we know that, especially for a team like Zeta, it would mean a lot even winning this first match.
I really would, especially for Japanese fans as well. I think they've been kind of waiting for another moment for Zeta specifically to be able to do well on the world stage. As you guys can see, some of these trophies, by the way, amazing, gorgeous.
Every single trophy that comes out of China is great.
Absolutely gorgeous. And our trophy is also, it's out there, it's in the fan zone, and it looks great as well. We will be starting the day with 3 best of 3s. That will be the same for tomorrow as well. And 5 out of the 6 teams competing today will be their first ever debut here on the global stage, which is very exciting. And a lot of them come in with obscene win streaks. And I mean, we don't see this very, very often, let alone from 6 different teams.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there's so many nuances to this. Like the way the Shipto has been playing, and but every single stat that I get from them is outrageous. It's not only that they've been dominant and they have a crazy streak, it's actually they're putting up the numbers. They're winning very, very comfortably. But if you look at the other side of ALG, 6-0, those are all the series that they played. So coming in to compete with the likes of teams like MIBR or G2 is definitely going to be a tough.
Yeah, I think that in the middle as well, Visa Crew Blaze, this is a squad that you see 2 maps lost there during their streak. That was to the same team that managed to take them down in kickoff. They've been almost untouchable, bar 9Z, who seem to have an idea of how they play. You better hope, if you're one of those international teams, if you're Zeta coming in here, that you have a good idea how they play, because even when they went to the finals, they demolished their opposition. This is a team I expect to... I'm not going to say they're not going to drop a map here, but they might. They might go flawless.
I mean, I do have to, the G2 Glaze, we have to do it a little bit for Gozen, because the context of the fact that they managed to have that kind of win streak in EMEA,
getting the first seed. Hello, G2?
It's literally insane.
That never happened.
They've broken so many records. But that brings us to today's Mastercard fan poll. As you guys just saw, KRU, ALG, and Zipto all went undefeated to qualify for Game Changers champs. Who do you guys think will keep their win streak going into today? Will it be KRU? Will it be ALG? Will it be Zipto? Make sure you vote in the poll. Scan the QR code on your screen to cast your vote, and we'll have the results before the first pistol round of the day. And also, all throughout this event, make sure you guys use the hashtags VCT Game Changers or VCT, so we can feature you on the broadcast. We want to hear your opinions, especially you, Tom Biz. I know you're watching this at home right now. And very quickly asking you guys, who do you think is going to keep their win streak today?
KRU.
Yeah,
Completely non-biased opinion.
It has to be KRU. Only 9Z were able to do damage to them. It's, like I said, I'm on the KRU hype train.
Good job, Mitch.
Zipto for me, just because of what happened last time. I feel like, this is going to be a fun matchup for them. But next, you guys have heard it from us already. Let's hear what the experts had to say and send it over to Mimi and Potter for some bracketology.
Hi, I'm Mimi. I'm here with world champion Person Potter. We're gonna make the perfect bracket for GCC, right?
The perfect one.
We got 10 teams this time. We've got to go quickly. Let's jump right in. We have the opening matches already decided. KRU Zeta, what you thinking?
Gotta go with KRU. Going with KRU here, staying strong.
Okay, so we get KRU G2 there. How about down below? ALG Falcons, we got some new names coming in.
New names. I'm a fan of Mary. We're going with Falcons.
Falcons winning that one out, so they'll play against SR, and ALG will go down to the lower bracket here. And then that puts us now with some pre-decided games. GX MIBR, Brazil versus EMEA. Team Liquid was so good last year.
They were, but MIBR stole their shoes. I gotta go with MIBR.
All right, we're sending them through. Their opponent is going to be the winner of now G2 versus KRU. What do you make of that one?
We're going with G2. They've had too much of an easy time in EMEA.
Too much of an easy
Too
time.
much of an easy time. We're going with G2 here.
Okay, so G2 is pushing through. That sends KRU down to the lower bracket in this round. Give me another game here while I figure out the iPad.
Shopify Rebellion. I think this one's an easy one, Mimi. We could just send this one all the way through. NA bias intact.
NA bias
all the way
for Shopify.
Yeah, let's just send them all the way through.
So you want me to just click them all the way to
yeah,
win?
just click
already.
It through.
All right, so Shopify winning
here.
against this team. I don't know what team they're winning against. They're off the board.
It doesn't matter.
They're Shopify. Give me another Shopify. In they come. In they come to the finals here. And then they're winning out there. They've disappeared from one game. Doesn't matter because they're already locked in
Yep,
in that
lock
position.
Lock
Let's go down below. ALG versus Giant X.
Let's go with Giant X here.
Giant X, okay, so you're thinking China's going out 0-2 again.
Unfortunately, I am. I've made this mistake before,
You
but
have,
we're
you're
gonna go
running
with
the
GX.
mistake back, not learning from it. Okay, who does Zeta play? Help me out here.
I think they
play
playing
the loser of SR Falcons, which is
Falcons.
Falcons.
Yep.
So they're playing against Falcons.
Gotta have Falcons.
Gotta have Falcons. Okay.
Yep, Falcons
it had a pretty darn good year in EMEA. You have them moving through. So Zeta ALG going out right away. Fly versus Zip. Debut of this new FlyQuest team here. Zip, a new player in that core too.
Yeah, and this is this one's a tricky one. I'm gonna throw a curveball on this. The NA bias is off the table. We're going with Zip.
You're
Zip
going
is
with
advancing.
Zip. Okay.
Yes.
So FlyQuest going down below. Zip is moving through. I think that a lot of people would be surprised by that one. Let's put them in there. SR was already going through here. G2 was. So G2 versus MIBR for that second spot up top.
Yeah, it's almost like... Okay, we'll stick with G2. G2 staying
So you
strong.
think we get that matchup finally of
Yes.
G2 versus SR?
Yes.
All right, that sends MIBR down below here to play the winner of Giant X versus... This is a test. Can you pass?
No, is it Falcons?
I think it's Zipto down there.
Okay.
So Zipto versus GX there. Does the Zipto hope come back to any extent?
It does. It does.
It does?
It does.
GX out. Zipto moving on against MIBR. That one would be a banger if we get to see it come through.
We'll say we're going to go with MIBR on that one as well.
MIBR?
Match 13.
I respect it. I'm off the Brazil Copium too. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just putting them there. I don't care. They're already moving
Got the Copium all the way.
So MIBR, they then play this other side of the bracket. What team do you have moving through from there?
G2.
G2's moving through.
G2.
Honestly,
We already have them
couldn't
up.
care less how this happens. G2,
just
what's
bring
our
it through.
final?
Our final should be Shopify versus G2.
They're running it back.
They're running
in
it back.
Brazil, and Shopify's
Number
winning.
2.
It looks beautiful, so it must be a perfect bracket.
It should be. We did say it was going to be a perfect one.
Yeah, I
from
mean,
the start.
I have no complaints about that one.
I don't
feel
think
like
anyone
we should just
can.
I can wrap it up here, right? It looks pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's it. This is perfect, as we discussed.
Is someone talking over there?
What is going on?
Is someone in here? Hello?
What's going on with our bracket?
Hey,
Wait,
what's
there's
up,
like 19
guys?
FlyQuests.
What is going
Sonder?
on with the bracket?
Where'd you get the
Who gave you the
iPad?
Are you guys trolling here? Well, hello, FlyQuest. More FlyQuest.
How did FlyQuest get there?
How?
And there's banners
Didn't
cheering.
Didn't you go out there?
No. You think I went a first round? No. You guys have this bracket all wrong.
So FlyQuest is winning the event.
No, China until FlyQuest, and FlyQuest wins.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
You heard it here first.
China
versus
number one.
FlyQuest.
Well, number 2, actually, because FlyQuest wins.
Very specific on that one. Well, nothing can stop them now. thank you, Sonder, for your help. And
Thank you. No problem.
congratulations, I guess.
Sonda has never been wrong in her life, so I trust her. But this tournament will be played on patch 9.09, which means if your name is Jimmy Lin, you're loving what's going on here.
Oh God, I miss Jimmy Lin. The fact that we don't have him to actually explain to us and the rest of the players and everybody at home how to attack on Pearl, how to take stairs. There's so many things that I need to learn from him on this map. But as you were saying, Splits and Pearl are in, and Icebox and Lotus, especially Lotus, has been such a pillar of 2024. We're not going to have it in the tournament, so of course things change for the teams and their preferences.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we got to ask who hates the Odin, and it's whoever made this decision. It's a sad day.
They hate you. That's
They
a
hate you.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually outlaw Odin as well. I mean, that's just a terrible combination to leave the pool in this meta, but
Hey, you can play
know what?
Odin on Split.
My heart's hurt.
You can. I do it.
you can do it. You can. It's possible, but it's not as easy.
But I want to ask you about
Mitch, the way you-
I want to ask about Sunset. Are we spamming with the Odin on Sunset?
There's not really that many positions. I don't think so. I think I can play the outlaw on it though. I mess with that.
Yeah, exactly. And the changes to the map are going to be coming. Another one of the pillars that we've had when we speak about maps and the importance that they've had throughout the year is Sunset. And now the way that the A side is going to be played, it has to be different, right? You cannot rely on that post-plant that match. You need to find new frontiers. And even if you were comfortable in the map, maybe this has changed too much, because obviously it's not only map changes that we have.
Yeah, and also the last time we saw you guys at Champs, we didn't get to see Vice. It was not available. It will be now. Do we anticipate some teams maybe actually choosing it and playing her?
I mean, you got to think about it. There's always going to be an advantage if you're the underdog, if there's less tape on how you like to play, and if you're playing Vice, there won't be tape. People aren't going for Vice right now. That's the advantage. The downside is we've seen lots of teams have the opportunity to play Vice, and they haven't. And it's a minimal turnaround with massive map changes coming as well. That's the one place I could see it. One of the new maps, or one of the returning maps, you're probably going to be reworking your comp there. So why not include a bit of a curveball?
Also, whoever that was is just a consistent demon.
Yeah, absolutely. El Diablo, baby.
El Diablo,
Yeah.
baby. El Diablo, baby. But let's talk about the other changes as well. We've got Astra, we've got Chamber, we've got Gecko.
Yeah.
Sum it up for me.
Exactly. So if you take a look back and think about Champs, right? We were playing on 902, right? We're on 909 right now. So of course, Astra has now 5 stars. There's also the increment in the radius for Chamber to go again and be that aggressive Sentinels that we had. And of course, another one of the pillars of 2024, this Gecko and the changes. The Wingman having a little bit more of radius. The Thrash having an extra, going from 7 to 8 orbs to get that ultimate, and also the DZ, getting the globules is going to be a little bit more difficult, 5 less seconds to get it, and the Diz is going to be a little bit shorter.
Most importantly, Ares.
Exactly. Mitch.
Yes, of course. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I said that they might hate the Odin, bringing in these patches, bringing in these changes, but clearly they love the Ares, and for that, you win back my love. It's okay, I'll forgive you.
You see, my love for Jimmy Lin is like, it's just
Overpowers it.
consistent. It's
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
He
I have
can
a
do
theory.
anything. Yeah.
Mary was coming back. They had to bring back Pearl.
Oh, I like the theory. I like the theory.
That's my
And
pitch.
speaking of theories and other things, we've done all of the housekeeping and official business. So let's get a little bit hot and messy with some hot takes. And since you were just kind of giving a little bit of a theory there, Kukuka, I'm going to start with you. What is your hot take for this tournament?
I'm going to say that even though I feel like everybody wants either EMEA or NA to go on top and to get those 2 wins and set one on first, I'm going to say that it's going to be actually a new region taking the trophy. 2024 has been a good year. We've had Gen G getting trophy, China as well with EDG. So I say for Game Changers, the same.
Okay, I like that. Well, for mine, I have a bit of a trend today, I suppose. I talked earlier about maybe KRU could go undefeated in maps. Certainly today, I believe that. But overall in the tournament, I'd go with G2. I think they're going to take this tournament without dropping a map. Straight streak.
Oh, that is spicy. That is very, very
That's actually
spicy.
very spicy.
I felt like
Very
if
much.
yours was like 1 chili pepper, yours would be like 3. I'm giving you 3.
So are you?
That's a
two?
ghost
What's
pepper.
yours?
I'm gonna do my utmost best to try and out pepper you guys
It's
and
gonna be
say that
completely
we're in Berlin. Mary is back. Last time Mary was in Berlin, Mary won. So I'm thinking it's time, even though they have a sub on their team, I was chatting to them a little bit. They have been cracking with Lexa for a little bit. They were kind of preparing for this scenario.
Yeah.
And how poetic would it be for Mary to take a year out for her studies, come back, and then win it all? I think they will drop some maps though, Mitch. Not as spicy as yours, but I think we're about to see the return of the queen. it's going to happen.
Okay, I mean, I like it. I'm a supporter of that theory, and throughout the year we've seen it. We were very happy to have her back. So
Is it hot?
it is hot.
Yeah?
It is hot. Yeah, especially.
up there.
Yeah. Especially because if you think about the last moments of that Series 3 in EMEA, you think about Giant X and G2 Gosen, and maybe Falcons has gone a little bit under the radar.
Yeah, well, they will be playing a little bit later. But first, let's get into today's first matchup and talk about Visa Crew Blaze, who are making their third straight champs appearance. They've been here every single time, and they seem to have improved every time we've seen them. But the question is, how far can they go this time? Is this going to be the time where they actually make it deep in this tournament?
Yeah, so to me, it's not only about the changes that they've made, it's thinking about Konir and Romy, the way that these players, as we were saying, they've come back every single year, but how much they've grown, right? Like, I still remember when Konir was playing Chamber, right? Before she dedicated herself to playing the smokes and fully IGLing the team and just making it better, let's say. Same for Romy. I think that the growth is definitely there. They're way more settled, and even though these wins keep on coming, they have learned also from the Game Changers Championship and how it is to go up against someone that you've never played against.
I mean, when you've got a core 3 here who've been to 2, obviously Konir and Rami to 3 GCC events, that is something that we have always talked about since the first time you and I were here in this studio, Yinsu, and we begged teams, stop making changes every couple weeks, keep together.
Yeah.
Were you were you on the desk first strike back in the day?
Oh, no, I was working in Spanish.
God, yeah,
I mean, I was, but not
It was
in
a
this
long,
language.
long time ago. Yeah, exactly. We didn't have you yet.
Yeah.
So back then, you know,
Our producer was with me.
yeah, but we talked a lot about consistency and sticking together, not having to rebuild your system again and again, and now we're starting to see that over time. The teams that do that, they succeed. The only downside for Crew is they're going to come up against G2, who we all know aren't going to lose a map.
Yeah, this is the thing, though, you know, with there are just certain players that are synonymous with their orgs. You got Messi on Barcelona. I know you might not know who that is, Mitch, but he played for Barcelona. And Rami and Konir, they are just Crew. They are this team. It feels weird if they weren't on this team. But the other thing, I was asking you guys this question, but they want to make it far, right? You don't want to come here for the third time and not be able to make a top 4, top 3, or maybe even a top 2.
And especially being together for that long, that is where you can capitalize on a tournament where, as we just mentioned very briefly, a lot of things have changed. If you have your identity very settled up as a team, you should thrive in this kind of situations.
Yeah, and speaking of, let's hear from Konir herself, who had a chat with Victoria a little bit earlier today.
Hello. Yes, I'm with Konir. Now, this is not your first rodeo at a GCC. How different is the crew today than the one last year at Sao Paulo?
I think we're much better than last year.
And now you are the very first match of today. How confident are you about today's win?
I'm very confident.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here.
I like the confidence. I like, you know, that's what you need going into a tournament like this. But they're going to be going up against a Zeta. And of course, this is a very, very big deal for Japan as a region. We remember the first time we had Zeta on the global scene. And it's all been a bit rough as well, Mitch, for Japanese Valorant in general. Could this be the fire, the spark that ignites them again?
Well, again, I think they've gotten a bit of an unlucky opening matchup, but talking about double elimination, at least perhaps there is still a chance. For Fennel 2 years ago, there wasn't. They went down and they went out. But I do think Zeta at the moment, they're hitting their stride regionally, and well, in a micro region, I suppose when we go to Pacific, Zipto definitely managed to do a lot of damage. And the scary thing is, for me, when I think about the level of competition here, there's not many teams that I would put below Zipto or directly above them. I'm saying they're close to the same level. That wasn't a diss to Zipto. And so for Zeta, if you're struggling against them, then who here will you be able to dominate, right? So we're hoping for them making it through matchups, taking a couple of wins. It's possible. I think the main thing is this is a good learning experience for them up against some of the best in the world.
I'm going the different route. Let's not sugarcoat it. Yes, they are the underdogs. They're coming in as the second seed, and Zipto has always had the upper hand against them. But they're coming in as the underdog, and we know what kind of power that brings onto the stage. That is the kind of thing that they need to capitalize in. Plus, also the experience that Zuzu brings.
The aura as well.
Yes,
the
that's
aura. I want to be a part of this team so bad. I'm like, take me. But yeah, Suzu, she has been here before. This is not her first rodeo, but she also has, I feel like, a bit of a tough task to go up against Dodds on the other side today, who, by the way, I'm actually really mad how kind of like under the radar Dodds has gone under because she is insane. Kakuka, we talk about MVPs. I think she could really be up there as one of the contenders for MVP.
Absolutely, and since Mitch is going to be wrong and KRU is going to win everything without dropping a single match, probably Dots is going to be the MVP of this tournament. I think it's very exciting for people watching at home to see this kind of clash. And if they have never seen her play, it's such an electric kind of play. She's going to capitalize on all the changes on the Neon and the support that she gets from the team, especially from Konir and the rest. It's immaculate.
I mean, I'm excited to see Mimi lift that MVP bracelet trophy, whatever we end up in, just to prove Bea wrong. But I will agree that Dodds certainly deserves it. Because Dodds, what's incredible about her is often when I see a Neon, especially up against a lot of comps playing your Cypher, you're going to expect it to be a little bit of a taper off on the attack side in terms of getting your openings. You're going to go down a little bit lower in the stats than when you're playing a Raze or something like this. At least that's what you'll normally see. Dodds has been delivering, and it's not just opening duels, it's like you get one kill and then she clears the whole site and spawn. There's 3 kills, you're in a 5v2, the round is won. She wins rounds for your team as the barriers go up.
Hey, but don't underestimate the underdogs, like Kakuka just said. And speaking of, let's send it back to Victoria and hear from Zeta's Akko and Moko.
I'm here with Zeta Division's Akko and Mocha, and we have Koye here to help us translate. Welcome, ladies. Now, there are a lot of duos here in GCC, but you guys are one of the rare few non-duelist duos that we love to talk about. What is it that makes your pairing work so well?
ここゲームチェンジャーズチャンピオンシップでは多くのデュオが存在すると思うんですが、デュエリストのデュオが多い中でお二人はデュエリストではないデュオとして成功しています。二人のデュオの秘訣があれば教えてください。
ゼータに入る前からの仲なので、お互いでなんかフィードバックし合ったりとか、そういうのが秘訣なんじゃないかなと思います。
So we've been together ever since before Zeta Division, so we're able to give feedback to each other with no pressure. I think that's the key.
And Moko, how do you feel about your duo?
デュオの秘訣についてどう思いますか？
The same question. Oh, okay.
まあ私はアコミンが大好きだからです。
Simply because I love Akko.
Nothing like love to bring you over the finish line. Well, all the best today, ladies.
頑張ってください今日。
Honestly, find yourself someone that looks like you the way that Moko looks like Akko. I feel like that's a perfect dynamic for a duo. And of course, they've got an IGL to back them up as well. Here, I feel like in Valorant we love unique in-game names, and I think this one you are. That's incredible.
Absolutely good. It's meant to be casted, so I'm so happy that she made it here. And of course, it's going to be one of the bigger topics when we talk about Zeta, because as we're saying, now she's going to be IGL, and then the task ahead is no longer just beating your biggest opponent in Chipto, is the rest of the world is looking. You're going up against the best of the best. Can you measure up with them?
Well, again, UR has measured up as a fragging IGL. You know, there's so many examples of fragging IGLs and of IGLs who struggle to frag. Culmination is a great example of one of those. I'll let you figure out which one. But I think for UR, I think that UR.
Hold up, 1 second. Pause.
This is personal.
Why is Coda catching strays when
I said he's an example of one of them. I didn't say which one he's an example of.
Coda, we got your back.
It is the latter. But UR is able to do what some people can't, and is able to put out numbers, able to lead the team. There is going to be a challenge, though, again, leading at an international level, the pressure as well. But I loved hearing that in the interview, that this is a team that's been together a while. They've got that good feedback system, because that, again, comes back to one of the strengths that we'll talk about for KRU, which is that they've been here before. Doesn't matter that Zeta haven't. If they've got that camaraderie, maybe they can make it work.
Well, we asked you guys for a poll earlier, and it's time for the results of our Mastercard fan poll. We asked you which undefeated team will keep their win streaks alive, and you guys have gone with KRU. And don't forget to use #VCTGameChangers to voice your opinions and tell Mitch why that was out of order.
I might have to apologize to Culmination later, but I'll check my DMs after.
With tears. We need that. But yeah, we're not really super surprised, right, with the result of the poll. We kind of knew it was probably going to lean over there.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot blame people for not thinking that ALG is going to continue what they were doing because they're the team that has played the least, right, out of everybody that is here. So, you know, that is understandable. And yes, you're right. It will be crew.
Yeah? You're happy about this?
Oh,
you
look,
happy? Mitch,
listen,
do you
I don't want to
wanna
get
name
shouted at
someone?
again. Sure, yes, I'm very happy. I agree.
So scared.
With what point specifically? I need
Crew
more
are going to
specifics.
be fantastic, and they're amazing, and they'll keep the win streak going.
Oh, okay. Would we see that as an upset if they don't? How big of an upset would it be if
Yeah,
Zeta were to take this?
I think definitely it's an upset. It's a region that hasn't delivered on the international stage so far, and a group that's majority debuting at this level.
Bear in mind, changes from the patch, from the match, from the maps, anything can happen
Very true.
today. If you want to take that win, today, the first day, is the best day because everybody's bringing in new things.
And very quickly, how much have the map changes affected these two teams in particular?
Oh, for crew, they for example, love picking Icebox. You know, it's a very comfort zone for them. It makes me a bit sad because Icebox is also the kind of map where we see the Clove, the Harbor, all of this, you know, more interesting picks that we're not going to see that often. So I would say crew.
And I think for Zeta, it's a big positive because they've got two maps coming in that there's no tape on them, that they can reinvent the wheel and maybe catch their opponents off guard. I think before that, Crew's experience would carry them across it in any head-to-head matchup on any map.
Well, an entire year of competition has led to this moment, starting with 3 best of 3s today. And without further ado, let's kick off day 1 of Game Changers Championship 2024.
In 2023, I had a chip on my shoulder. I had a lot to prove. Winning in 2023 champs felt amazing. I was so proud of my teammates. This year, having a target on our back only makes us work harder. Together, we can win again.
First win in 2022.
I think it was just pure happiness.
But also in 2023, just put you in reality check. But be very aware of like what's needed to become the best.
2回目でやっと来れて嬉しいって感じです。諦めへんで。
Sandra 2 years ago was very immature and didn't know any better. Back here in Berlin, 2 years later, I have unfinished business to take care of.
As a 16-year-old, it was very hard. Madvi, she was really trying to get me back into the game, then stay on her team. This time, I want to build a legacy for the MENA region. How crazy would it be if we win challenge?
never had a Game Changers champs before without KRU, but just how are they going to fare against a team that's never even set foot on this stage? It is the opening game of the day, which means this best of 3 is going to be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, exactly. And as we think about that, Matt Vito, Split and Pearl are going to go out right after
Jimmy Lin!
No! It's because we couldn't bring Jimmy Lin, Mitch.
You know, I'm really surprised. As I said, I thought Zeta would lean towards the new maps, maybe to catch KRU off guard, but whether they suspect there's being work done there, or whether they're just confident in their, like, bind, for example, their ascent, leaving them in, I'm not too sure. I think this is a veto that goes the way of KRU.
Yeah, and just in case you guys didn't catch that veto, map 3 will be Haven. The other 2 maps were banned out in the second round. And honestly, if you were Zeta, you were saying as well, Mitch, in terms of the map changes coming in, you're not going to be that upset that you get to play these 3 maps.
Yeah, I mean, bind hasn't been great for them regionally, but outside of that, ascent is probably their backbone right now. Certainly the one that they stand the best chance of the maps remaining in the pool. So, hey, it's not terrible, but again, matching up pound for pound, looking at some of these players, and I think someone like Dodds, we have a lot of dangers, a lot of red flags up for their opposition.
Do we expect any changes, maybe in the agents, maybe to just go back to the comfort of what they have been playing in the region? Because I think that this veto went a little bit, I think that they conditioned themselves in the right way.
Well, let's take a look and see if we will get some changes. And oh my God! That is not the change I expected. If you told me anything else, I would have been like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Wow, they came here to play.
Gecko for Yoru is quite a swap to make. I mean, I was expecting to come in here talking about double initiator on the side of KRU. Instead, I'm talking about double duelist, and those are some scary duelists. This, to me, is a comp that says, we are better than you, and we're about to prove it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I cannot remember the last time that BSIC played Yoru, but I can tell you, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while, and she's not a Yoru main, so I expect some surprises. I expect some preparation, and probably wanting to make a statement to the rest of the teams here, because if they are able to make this look flawless, it's going to be more than interesting, because the pace of this is going to be on another level.
The best part as well is the fact that you take out the Fade and put a Sky in too, so you've got even more oppressive flashes coming at you. This is going to be terrifying to defend against this composition.
Yeah, here's the thing though, not a Yoru main, you are right about that, but she did play a ton of duelists in the past, or Jet as well for a while, so this is not a new thing, but I want to look on the other side, because coming into this, for Suzu, the head-to-head was Suzu and Dodds. That's the kind of the matchup they were looking forward to, but now she's just going to go up against 2 duelists as well. But today is going to be a day of many firsts, and this is the first time that I get the honors of tossing to these 2 fine gentlemen. So Uber and Wyatt, take it away and have a great cast.
Thank you very much, Insu. Great to be here. Finally, they got us out to Berlin, Wyatt. Wyatt River here with Mitch Leslie, of course, bringing your first match in. One that is fascinating because, like so many teams here at Game Changers Championships, we have 2 teams that have dominated their regions domestically, but big question marks over their international aspirations.
Absolutely. KRU, they have been here 3 years in a row. Always dominance in the LATAM region. Kanir coming back for the 3rd time in a row. Rami as well. But it's always been a case of just domination in LATAM, and it's hard to place them globally because of that. You know, they've said, though, themselves that this new roster, the iteration, bringing in the 2 Brazilians, Dodds certainly putting up obscene stats on really all the duelists.
Best-in-class stats.
Yeah, they're feeling like this is really the roster. They're really leveling up this time.
As I just pointed out, a very new-look composition here for Visa KRU Blaze Wyatt. We see the Yoru come in, that double duelist setup for the 2 Brazilian players on this roster.
And they prefer running Neon on this map, which personally I'm a bit pessimistic about sometimes, but they have made it work. Since running that, they have only actually lost 4 rounds on defense within 3 games, which is pretty mad. And they're starting on defense here, so we'll see if they can recreate that magic at this international tournament.
Early explore straight down short here, but KRU have actually opted off the A side to have a strong presence in showers here. So this explore from Zeta will go largely unnoticed, but you'll notice these KRU Blaze are ready to receive it. Okay, Arco now knows there's some presence here inside showers. She still wants to dig it out, but she may not be aware of the second player here. Korea spotted through the TP, they come. Arco's able to find one. Bjartik, though, with a trade out. Now 3 players in showers. Spike is down.
Crucial for the 1v1. UR has that Molotov ready. A lot of delay being offered from that. Can go on the spike late.
Time ticking though, Dodds. Yep, she knows she needs to get into halls here. Good pressure, Moko taken down. What a stun! The relay ball, perfect for the situation. Still though, attempted to defuse, stymied. Crew with 3 players up and they need to get moving, but the post plant setup has been good for Zeta. Dodds able to bring Serena down. It's just you are the newly minted IGL to interrupt this. Kinnear gets into halfway. Now the 1v1. Kinnear just a tap and you are swings out, can't finish it. But the defuse doesn't come out in time. Okay. Already an explosive pistol.
Just by the .28, and I mean, immediately we saw the power of Dodds on this roster. So smooth with the utility, getting back into Lamp solo, clearing out both players, stunning both of them as well. And then it's UR who has really been a high impact player for Zeta throughout their run qualifying here to clutch that out.
Taken down.
What an electric opening.
One enemy remaining.
Do you feel like UR had it? Steady pair of hands here, but actually swung into a shot that brought her down. Zeta still able to come away with the round though, well timed. Into the second now, Zeta Division concerned about a pop here out from Hookah, but Crew opting to divert most of their resources to A short here defensively.
Yeah, it was a bit of a trap play setup they had there. You could see that Michaela was ready to send that Skybird up for the flash if there was any presence, but it just wasn't found. Stack on A, not paying off just yet.
Back off the site, gate crash in position for Bjartik if she would need to return to A, but this is pretty typical of Zeta Division. They are very methodical. Like to play together. It's a stylistic trait brought from the Japanese region.
I've read this.
3 defenders on the site,
They've
though.
adjusted that stack beautifully, right at the perfect time. Executing into the side, kills going the way of Crew due to that stack as well. Serena trying to trade back down into the 2v2. Michaela weak, weaponry not particularly great either. Zeta needing to root them out, however.
Last player standing.
And Michaela does go down. Zeta biding the time, playing together, trading out nicely, swinging together. Spike is trying to go down. Kinnear, so talented, able to get that far. Still though, only a classic, not able to recover any weapon of significance. You are with the Vandal.
Spot on first, Kinnear!
Oh, no,
has to reload! Disaster there for Visa Crew plays. Zeta, it's a little bit rocky though, as far as that anti-eco round is concerned. They've been able to maintain a rifle coming out of it.
Yeah, and it was just Dodds pushing down short that gave the information to Crew. Let's go for the sack on B. Let's rotate. And they got there just in time to deal immense damage. Look at, you know, we're going to see what Zeta are forced onto now, and it's not good. They're going to have to save. They have the one hero Vandal that's going to be brought over in the hands of the duelist Suzu. But that is really all they've got to work with here.
We go again, pressure here towards Showers, early action, Suzu with that singular rifle trying to make something happen, but Dodds is just indomitable. And Zeta's early offensive, they try to go for a fast hit, it fizzles out. Now distributed across the map, they've got a spike to recover.
Surely we don't get the Dodds ace this early, do we? He is wandering forward, and there is the fourth, and they've just got to give it to them at this point.
Serena
hunting them down with the movement.
Cybercade showing up here, Serena trying to cover her retreat. Dodds has the taste for blood though. No spot out there off that guiding light. Serena here virtually trapped, nothing really to save for the next round. Still over about a minute to work with here, and there it is, Bjartik with the steal.
Oh, that's tough. That is tough. No patience, just 0.5 seconds. Dodds would have got that. Come over 3 rounds in. Okay. First match.
Like that. Okay.
That's tough. That's tough.
Must be a Brazilian thing, Wyatt. This is incredible stuff, though. Again, Zeta are opting to push through that brim smoke, look into a territory they have very limited information about, and Dodds is able to just hold it down.
Now we are getting into this Zeta Division full buy, and very, very early on, ultimate UR for the Brimstone, pivotal to win a crucial round here potentially, with their economy on the line.
Same setup here. 2 players for Crew set up inside Shower. It's the same Brim Smoke as well, but Zeta are a little tentative this time about pushing through. This time, send to Cam, it's going to be an orbital strike coming down, but Kinnear this time is the one that won't be shifted. An orbital strike can just be stepped out of by Crew here. Attempt to play through TP, Kinnear shuts it down as well. UR is in deep trouble. She holds it down for 2. A third will be massive here to bail her out, but the ammunition isn't there. That's up to Moko. having to wrap through, but she's already been spotted out, Wyatt.
And that is tough. Michaela ready for that to shut the round down. Zeta really want to hard force showers at the moment, but KRU have really been steadfast with this double sack. They're content playing there. If the pressure comes down short, that's a nice position to retain if, you know, later in the round when they're trying to get the spike plant down, Zeta. But fighting forward, it's just not working out. Trying to work their way through the neon stun, really impossible. It's just got them bogged down in that really tight choke at the door.
Dodds there. 8-3 so far. We are into our 5th round.
It is madness, but it is what's expected from a player that's putting up like over 1 kills per round on every duelist in LATAM, which is just nasty activity. You can't be allowed to do that. Yet somehow coming into this tournament, I swear there's a duelist from every region that is just that good.
Except maybe Zeta's region. The firepower is something that we would maybe have raised a query about for this team.
Yeah, and that is, you know, potentially the issue. I think this is a cool stylistic matchup to open this tournament for both teams, really, where KRU, such heavy firepower, versus a Zeta that look their best when they're going for these early round set plays, big set executes, where they look more regimented. But up against a duelist that can really take over the game, that is where they've had some struggles throughout their qualifying run in Pacific. You know, we saw that in the finals against Zipto, where Inari was really able to control the game on the Neon, in fact. So we'll have to see if they can overcome that hurdle this time.
Serena's trying to sell the fake here over at A, and so far it's working for Visa Crew Blaze players. Set up onto that site. Here comes the hit now from Zeta. Gonna be quick about it. Trailblazers to lead the way. Suzu up front. Remember, this is really just pistols here for Zeta Division. But they've got the setup. We're gonna have the molly thrown over towards CT side. Here comes the TP play. 3 players for Visa Crew Blaze coming in, and it's gonna be UR up first to receive this. Does this get checked? No! She's able to fight too! Byatsik recovers. Only 3 now left for your LATAM delegates. And the Seekers spotting Byatsik out here over towards Hookah.
This late flank is so nice coming through from Serena. They're not going to expect this to not go as well. Mid-jump headshot.
Moko here though, out of the picture. Defused, got to half. Michaela looking to try and get it done. The stick isn't there. Moko gets into the game. And there it is, your Mastercard Thrifty for Zeta Division.
I think they just pull that out of absolute thin air. KRU were really focused on that A site, expecting the aggression to come there again, where, you know, to be fair, Zeta have put a lot of emphasis there. Able to just contact up. And then it's all, again, 2 rounds already where UR is the linchpin of Zeta's success. Those 2 kills, and then a lovely late rewrap through Hookah from Serena. Just another thorn in their side.
The one is enough. Serena on that long push. Okay. Ultimate here for Dodds.
Oh my god, with the stimmy as well. The speed is outrageous.
Hey, oh, committing! I don't think Byatsik sees UR. Now coming out of that ultimate, at least able to find the one. Shorty does connect. Serena playing a little slower. They don't know that she is interposed between KRU's lineup, but Kinnear was a late wrap from that A side.
Look at this, they've completely flipped the map now. Zeta working into that B side. It was offered up for free. Come on, the cross won't get spotted. And now they could plant for Heaven. Really difficult to retake when these positions are retained, when the spike is planted here back site.
This post-plant util a little bit limited though for Zeta. They do have, of course, a snake bite. That's it. Could be a full retake here, and those Seekers feel a little bit superfluous at this point. We know exactly what is afoot, but they have to be relatively slow about this because Zeta, they've had so much time to assume these post-plant positions.
A lot of distance to be covered. Moko lone in shower. This would be
flashed in.
Stool to win. Flash dodge. Lovely headshot.
Now Showers control here for Zeta in the post-plant. All of Visa Crew Blaze have to come as a unit over towards the side. Michaela reveals herself. Moko's still healthy enough here. And the rest of Zeta can play off this info. Arco flashes in. Beautiful. Kinnear taken down, and now it's all up to Romy in the time. It's not on her side. She knows it too. Moko not going to give her anything to work with here. And Zeta Division, so circuitous all around the map.
Look at the crossfires that they were able to set up there. Massive credit to Moko. That kill in shower. And then all of a sudden, the players coming in, pinched from Heaven, pinched from a defender spawn and shower. I mean, you can't cover all of those angles. Again, retaking when it's planted backside is just so difficult to do. And now due to that prior eco, due to this lovely take of A, economy's cracked for the KRU side.
Moko winning out against Piatek there in Showers. That is massive. You notice Romy come and try to clear that position out, try to at least give a semblance of a crossfire to Visa Crew Blaze in that post plant. They got nothing.
I have to say as well, I mean, that early round play from Visa Crew Blaze was pretty mad. That like the double ultimate coming through, the overdrive and the Yoru, the dimensional drift clearing out all of market. But it's UR who has the hot hand right now for Zeta that shut down that overdrive instantly. Dodds didn't even get to fire off a second of that LG.
We're just talking about it. While Cold of Interest catching strays from the analyst desk, we talked about how important it is to have these IGLs that can step up and frag. And UR, who, by the way, selected this name so it would be easier for casters to say.
Yeah, much appreciated.
So really, really polite of him. She's really stepped up in a big way. Saw Coach Bebasita there with the first opportunity to discuss with Visa Crew Blaze what has gone wrong thus far.
Headed into this round. Actually, economy a bit better than I expected it to be. Enough so that they've got the operator. First one of the game in the hands of the Yoru, locking down Shower. A good angle to pick up an area of the map where Zeta have put really heavy focus. Cage is nice to cross. Flash gets that ping as well, and it forces out the gate crash. So a nice take of Shower control here very early for Zeta.
It's still slow, but in the past, Visa Crew Blaze have set 2 players up here in Shower. They've had Dodds and Conia.
Yeah, this is good though. Flash comes through, doesn't actually spot Serena, who's been inserted. That cam is really nice as well. Totally aware if a repush, a re-clear will come in. It doesn't look like that's was going to happen, but now it's Dodds slowly walking forward.
They're going to walk right into this. They're trying to get value out of the stinger that Conia has. Serena ready for this, but shoulder pick there from Dodds. Slide out a little bit dangerous. Serena tucks here. Got to be hit by the relay bolt though. Oh, Dodds on the slide. It's beautiful. Double duelist. You've got to make some action happen early in these rounds.
And with that re-clear, they'll now look at the map control. It's really nothing for Zeta. The wall has cycled back up, recharged, so a contact push, fight in lamps if they could.
She's about to get busy.
The kill on Dodds, but no one watching it, but a rare whiff.
No relay bolt to work with there, Dodds. She has to get out.
30 seconds left.
Zeta, they're all grouped up here on short. They haven't crossed. There was a brim one way that prevented them just to push, and now they're going to go through TP, but they have limited information about this B-side. Suzu, though, she gets there first, finds Michaela there with the paint shells, and Romy's forced back by the smoke.
That was a really good nade, and look at this right now. You are ultimate, ready to go. Crucial for the post plant. Suzu wants to take the fight to them, playing around that smoke. Doesn't really have anything to, be too proactive, though. There's no flashes right now.
Zoo, shoulder peek. Okay, Orbital being thrown down. Piatek playing from outside of it, a bit frustrating being on the outside looking in with this operator here, and again, just more shoulder peeks from Suzu, but Kania's gotten out onto the side. Dodds able to find her third of the round here. Unreal! Visa Crew Blaze are bullying their way out through CT. Dodds with 4.
Yeah, things getting a bit disjointed there. This Visa Crew Blaze team, they are really taking advantage of the stims getting thrown down by the brim. The pace that Conia was able to get back in, allowing the rest of them to scale off, and obviously speed matched by the Neon there too. Dodds getting back in, 12 on the board.
Round 8, by the way.
Maybe regretting sending out some of this utility so early. It's straight through the snake point. Actual no-fear gameplay. The shots are just lethal, man.
And yet, Dodds is able to find so many of those kills just without pushing onto the site properly. That was Kania that went straight through. She had nothing to see.
Just offers up such a distraction. Economy boom for Zeta now, as the op repositions towards long this time, and we had that double setup Showers again as well.
Double face here. Oh my goodness!
Round B.
What a way to open up the account by Piatek. Moko, despite this, still wants to assume a position up at the top of B long. Serena at least in the spot to pressure now. The gun's not good for Zeta. 2 stingers here to work with. Moko just wants to get this real estate.
Save some actual magic. This should just be all too easy for Crew to clean up. The sheriff shots have been pretty sick from Zeta, but obviously the deficit there way too strong.
And we see the double setup there over towards B long. It's reminiscent of what we saw from Levitan out in Americas. Really hard to break if you don't have like an omen to one-way that corner. And as Zeta Division, Coach Ryota calling a timeout.
At an optimal time for sure. When we get back into this round, there are significant ultimates in play for Zeta. They have the showstopper for Suzu. Easy way to open up the site, force those defenders back, and then you have the Viper's Pit to throw down while the spike is being planted, retain the site, make it tough for the retake. So, you know, an easy duo of those ultimates in tandem that could get them this crucial round win. You know, despite winning a number of rounds here, their economy has been pretty bad. They've had to eco a couple times already, and that just hasn't been the case for KRU. Even on a round where I thought they were about to eco, and so I was like, wait, they haven't. Oh, where are they? What are they investing in? How are they getting this money?
And yet it works beautifully. I mean, previously BRTIC doesn't have a great way to use it because they're on the wrong side. There's a lot of their Brim utility that cuts, you know, Visa Crew Blaze off. It ends up being Dodds just walking up, getting 4 kills in that round. But that round, holding those extremities for contact plays, Zeta Division walk straight into that line, and BRTIC walks away with a rare double kill collat from that one shot. Now you've got to play differently. Now you've got to play cognizant of that operator that could be in showers, could be towards B-Long.
This could be a great opportunity for Suzu to begin to heat up as well. Right now hasn't, at least in terms of the frags individually, has not been able to really do much on the board so far. So
not her first time at Game Changers Champions though. Back in 2022 with Fennel on loan to them. She's back for more.
Yeah, excited to be back. Feeling pretty confident. The team has looked very strong online. Surprising a lot of people too with the run that they made in Pacific, being able to qualify here. And it is through that really nice team play that we were talking about earlier. And we have seen rounds where that is absolutely on display. Some of the calling, some of those post-plant setups were really fantastic. And 4 rounds on attack, it's not too bad already, all things considered.
There's some decent moments of individual brilliance as well. Obviously, Dodds is always going to have that in healthy supply. The double duelist set up here for KRU. We've seen them push up on some of these extremities early in the round. Look to make some trap plays here behind this util. Dodds' relay bolts have been so good at guaranteeing her these lopsided encounters, these engagements where she walks away winning 1v2s. Zeta Division here know they, talking to them as well. I had a chance to sit down with UR. They said, look, we know we're not the top seed, coming out of the Pacific region. But we love playing the game in such a way that we are together. These set plays. We've noticed, obviously, that when they sort of have to fall back across the map, it can be slow. But honestly, compared to what we saw from them in Pacific, we've seen them take a lot of initiative, be really active here on this attack side of Bind. So a lot of work being done. And bear in mind, obviously, with the map ball changing so drastically as well. Now with Split and Pearl being options, many teams have had to pivot. Visa Crew Blaze's best map, Lotus, not in the pool anymore, for example.
Absolutely. I mentioned it right at the beginning, but in the last 3 games, there were only 4 rounds taken against KRU when they were on Bind defense. So Zeta, they've already matched that, which you have to give them credit. They played some impressive rounds here. And I've been, on the opposite side, really impressed with KRU's map control game off. Adjusted again, and a lovely shot. Get crash out instantly. Suzu trying to gain space, trying to take advantage of this showstopper. And you see that it can, force these defenders back. It can get the space for the spike to go down.
Hang on. Oh, nicely done. Suzu ready for the emergence there for that dimensional drift. BRTIC taken down. She hoped to make it another shorty play. Here's a Viper Pit for Zeta being thrown down on the side in a full post part. Dodds slides on in to save the day. But there is a lot of this Viper util now to deal with. Corneo elsewhere. That's from heaven. Great shot. Finding UR.
I think that's just pure random spam. Double face. But Dodds again cleans it up. A good attempt from Akko. Ultimates used in the way that you would expect coming out of that timeout. But KRU really able to circumvent that showstopper. A nice retake back in. And it doesn't hurt when Connor is just spamming through the smoke with a Vandal and finds one. Not too bad. I do love to see, though, how KRU are really taking advantage of and exploiting the stun from this Neon. You can see how focused Dodds is on specific positions on the map. There's a reason that they're playing towards showers so often. You can see how they're taking advantage of lamps, how the stun can just hit any player in that region, sliding in so effective. Really intelligent with the positioning here. Really has been a crux of these round wins for them.
Just a great fallback from that showstopper with that first pick, of course, with the operator on BRTIC. The protocols for KRU defensively seem very good as Zeta look to go up a notch. Here's a defensive pop again from Hookah. Dodds is holding on the angle. UR almost seems to be aware of this. Eventually, though, we'll see the defenders fall back. But Long B's there for the taking. Zeta really want to set up here now. We're about to get messy. Guardian Light's going to force Dots back through that smoke. Arco gets through. Sunder brief though. Again, those relay bolts are such a problem. And Dots sprays for it. Moko at least having a trade out here, but that was a decoy. Michaela able to get rid of the Viper.
Yeah, and that's just another area of the map where the relay bolt, massive value. It connects with everything in Octagon. And you know, that was a situation that Zeta have been taking advantage of a bit, where they get to walk up long. That is one area on the map, aside from when the operator was there, that they've realized they can kind of just contact it and get it relatively for free. But on a round like this, essentially irrelevant. Again, forced onto the eco. You know, that's really been one of the important factors in this half, is that they have struggled economically.
Neural theft here reveals Michaela's position. Bjartzik tries to cover her fall back, but Michaela's still able to find Serena. Yua has to come forward. And KRU comfortable there. They still were distributed 2 and 2 across the map with a gate crash over towards Spawn. They were ready for anything.
See now, perhaps if KRU on defensive Visa Crew Blaze attempts to get Rami close to one of those ult orbs, just one away from the Viper's pit coming into this next round, could be crucial on defense. You just see, again,
they really want to force these fights, right? Visa Crew Blaze looking for engagements wherever they can get them.
They've got the comp for it, obviously. I mean, they have a number of flashes. We are seeing the relay bolts every round, how effective they've been on defense. That is the win con for them. And here we go again, doubled up.
Back to the original setup here.
Dodds in the corner. Just giving up short, just completely giving it up. I mean, you can see that there's a gate crash placed defensively in heaven. So, you know, if a pop comes through short, Bjartzik can go for that rotate. Pushing down. The gate crash does expire just now.
Bjartzik is cheating her way out of hookah there. Suzu knows what's happening in here. Dodds able to go for the 1-for-1. Playing on that corner. Relay bolt thrown out here, but the Viper Wall's in the way. Dodds very heavily extended. She goes for the ultimate. Suzu reveals herself eventually. Dodds finds yet another one. That is filthy. 18 and 6, by the way. And this is round 11. Dodds translating the domestic dominance here to the international stage. And she wants more, but Serena ready for it.
Perhaps getting a little bit too greedy, honestly. Got robbed by Bjartzik of the ace earlier. Wanted to get it this time. But it has given a bit of an opportunity for Serena and Moko to get back into the round. But unfortunately, there's no cages, so they're going to have to actually contact into this operator. But it is whiff, but
Robbie's there.
Yeah, on that angle, connecting. Some solid headshots, good crosshair placement. And again, it's Zeta trying to force this shower position. That time you could see they wanted to bait out Conir on that swing, expecting that typical position that she's been in. They find that kill. But what can you do when Dawes is playing like this? I mean, this region of the map is actually on lock.
Dodds not having missed a beat. Stunning stuff. 5 speed here for Romy in this last round of the first half. Seekers developed here by Arco. We're going to have another aggressive push-up short here by KRU. Into the smoke.
Forward positioning. They've been fantastic in the map control game. Just the jiggle peeks from Michaela and on the opposite side as well.
So smothering this Visa Crew Blaze setup.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can even see towards Hookah, there's no presence from Visa Crew Blaze, but there's the poison cloud there just to feign that people will be hiding in Hookah, close control. And now the pit as well. I mean, push down short, this presence in Octagon. They have the open shower. I mean, the time is dwindling. Listen, still a minute, but you have to re-clear just every damn position on the map at this point for Zeta.
You've got to figure it out pretty darn quickly, Wyatt. Like you said, Hookah might be the only option here, but Zeta Division put themselves at risk from funneling from one entry point onto B.
These Seekers will be very effective, though, for Akko. Just pure contact re-clear on Hookah. We'll get the positioning on the Viper. Maybe get a cheeky spam down to drop the pit. Find that opening kill.
Smokes to elbow and towards CT. It's about time for Zeta to go. It's going to be Suzu satcheling, faking it, but Michaela's happy to stand out in the open. That's the entry now stuffed here for Zeta Division, but they're not done. Pushing on out, but Yuan's going to be hit by a flash instantly. Romy just playing outside of this pit. It eventually drops, and Moko's waiting for it on the other side. Down to 2 now, a KRU. Couldn't able to stand tall, but stuck in the middle of the site. The double swing for Zeta pays off, and it's up to Bjartzik with the op.
Left. Spike planted.
Moko just on that corner. Bjartzik knows it. Double swing could be devastating here. She'll have a shot. Both Zeta players low. 55 points of health between the two of them. Then a flash still in hand here for the Yoru. There's that Sky healing, actually finding some value. Time to go for it, but Beyonce runs headlong. And the last two Zeta players remaining. And that's Zeta Division getting to 5 rounds at the end of the half.
And frankly, again, all things considered, a good half for Zeta. A number of those crew round wins were against Ecos. And when it came to the actual full buy rounds, Zeta were playing very well. A lot of things to take away that were impressive from both sides, to be honest, but those gun rounds for Zeta, quality.
Half time in the first map. We'll be back for more of Bind after this.
Falling back to earth, falling back to earth, falling back to earth, falling back to earth. Don't be afraid. We made it to stars when we die, they don't bleed. Don't look away. Remember your face from the sky, but I'm here and I swear. Call you when I'm almost done. Falling back to, every time I said something dumb. Saw you laugh and brought me back to earth. I'm waiting from the sky, the by detonated time. Don't cry, falling back to earth.
Halftime in our first map for Game Changers Championship for 2024. And it's a close one. Zeta Division White, they come out of the gates on the attack side looking far more interested at starting these early engagements than we maybe would have expected.
Absolutely. Totally agree. I'm very interested to see now the dynamic between the agents now that crew are on attack. Cypher is a good counter for this Neon. A trip just catching them off guard could be an easy shutdown. And you're really going to see this crew team trying to push deep, push past their own smokes when they're executing on these sites because they have a number of flashes to do so. Dodd's relay bolt ability to slide into backside, play off of them. So this should just be some serious aggression off the executes.
Suzu in position, ready for it. The TP play as well. Nicely done. And now Trailblazer sent it by Arco. What? Victor crew play is struggling. They crumble inside that Chow's position. Robbie's managed to get deep here. Serena up in heaven, won't be waiting for this, but how now do you springboard off that kill deep behind enemy lines?
I mean, good luck getting the spike. Even when they try to get in shower here, they might just get mollied off by UR. Just a bit of obnoxious util, and there it is. Okay, no, still does cover.
Does the job. Okay. That's going to be crew, have to slow things down a little bit. You are holding the line here, waiting for the swing. Michaela able to win it out though. That's 2, that's 3 for Michaela. Sets up the 1 versus 1. And Moko is a long way from this action, but will be able to keep an eye on that spike position.
30 seconds left.
This is a good angle to hold. Bit of an off angle.
I got this.
Michaela ready for this.
Down.
Damage exchange. Spike recovered though. Opportunity for the plant. Can get backside.
We're out of there. We're going all the way to the B site now.
Around the world.
This is going to give Michaela a chance to set up in this 1 versus 1. Both players really just a tap away from
10
death.
seconds left.
With plenty of time in the round, Michaela parts over at B.
Planted.
A lot of areas now for Moko to clear. Just felt like there's no reason to really try and push out, obviously. You know, she goes out onto site and Michaela retain that position. Might have just shot on the side.
Wait,
immediate
unreal!
Oh my god, 4th headshot of the round. I mean, so many of them exchanged. That first one from Suzu was outrageous. Fraction of a millisecond reaction time. I mean, barely even spotted the head on that swing. And then that moment from Rami, though, finding a little gap. Because so many players went for that showers crunch that was effective. But really heads up to be able to push that deep. Through extending the lead now.
Tough pill to swallow for Coach Ryota. Was looking so good for Zeta in such an important pistol round. They're behind them now. Crew here look to want to pressure B and be quick about it.
Both teams clutch for clutch on the pistols. Serena was an opportunity. Off angle held again.
Octagon
tricky
cleared.
for Rami to clear here.
Crew know they can set up on the other side of this Viper wall. Pings over towards elbow. We're getting a drift over here by Moko to set up in that elbow spot. It's position here for Serena. She's cheated out all the way down this slope.
And now look at this.
She spotted.
Fake presence here from Biazik. Wants to fight. Left that gate crash over at B and teleport. But Serena exposing Rami. That's only a Sheriff recovered.
Dots over the Vandal. They've already opened up this B site here. Yes, there's a cam set up. Serena just really sitting back here. She got so deep on this push out of Hookah. Now we'll see a fallback over towards Octagon. A couple players. The double stack for Crew setting up to try and get into elbow. Facilitated by Biazik. The flash, but now 3 players from Zeta swing out onto the site. Still favors Visa Crew plays though, as Serena eventually gets into the action via Hookah. It's going to be another 1v1. Michaela will have to do it again. This time against Suzu, but she's out of bullets. Visa Crew plays not the smoothest anti-Yuka, but they get there.
So close. I mean, we have actually just repeated exactly how the first half started. Clutch 1v1 to win the pistol, into the other team gets 4 kills when they're on the eco, sends the economy into the dumpster for the team that won the pistol.
Back-to-back
literally the
clutches.
same thing.
That's still the money. Like you said, not in a great spot. Visa Crew plays down to Sheriffs here and a Bulldog.
Great opportunity now for Zeta to just play a clean round. Obviously, they have to contend with this aggression, this speed of the Crew comp. Tripwires here will be so tough to deal with. The Crew go for that fast execute. You know, if Dodds really kind of gets ahead of herself, it's easy to run into those and just get caught out first.
Dodds looking for a 20th kill of the game. Those trips here do need to be respected. Fast lane here thrown up by Dodds. Into the trip though. A little dangerous. That was at least triggered by the Trailblazer first. Crew up to pull out of this B-long position.
Because in the meantime, Biazik able to insert over into that Shower's position. And Rami as well, just controlling A shore, making sure that there's not going to be a push down. So they're set up for a fair execute here, but Zeta do have 3 players ready. Angles being watched by the far superior weaponry, taps through some decent damage.
Moko's got to be happy about that. Dodds going to be dragging herself onto the side here, but Biazik has gotten through and past this molly, routinely disrespecting the mollies from Zeta Division. Moko inside the smoke. For the timing now as the spike gets tapped here. It's going to be UR opening things up though. Moko happy to deal with Kanira from inside that smoke. And now you're down to 2, but Dodds fights 2 on the pistol. Romy, so clutch in that LATAM decider game. Can't connect with Suzu across the map. Zeta get back in it.
That is really just the gun advantage hold from Zeta. Picking up that round off the back of the Sheriff kills in the prior. And already we're headed to an explosive one here. Crucial when you take a look at the state of the Crew's economy. Zeta's as well, to be fair. It's not great just yet. A number of players 1 away from getting an ultimate when we get into this next round. You have UR 1 off the orbital strike. Dodds 1 off of the overdrive. Biazik 1 off the dimensional drift. Could be explosive here.
Again, back to B-long here. 3 players from Visa Crew plays. Just to clear Octagon and give themselves the option to make a play for Shower or hit this site properly. It's the same Cypher util set up by Serena.
My ult's ready.
Perhaps with that tripwire inside Octagon back a little further. The drift here from Konia heading over to the B side of the map.
This time it's Zeta with that shower control crucial, allowing the rest of the team to focus their efforts on B. Trips to playoff, can to playoff.
They haven't cleared Hookah, Visa Crew plays, so still looking in that direction, unsure. Serena in the past opting to flank that way. Here come the Seekers. Dimensional drift also popped there by Biazik. Dodds steps up, steps forward now, heading straight to elbow. Wins it out against Arco, but elsewhere the Showstoppers able to claim Michaela. Out of that dimensional drift comes Biazik, but wouldn't have escaped from that orbital strike either way. Dodds deep with that ultimate, finds her 3rd of the round, and Moko will be in trouble, but she has that range at least to work with. Now in a 1 versus 2. Smoke dodge, she's got to go for it. 42 health, and the molly means she's got to come up. Crew get to 10.
Just ultimates on ultimates. The space that's being able to be taken by KRU on those fast executes. That just simply is what this comp is excelling at. The ability to fight deep sight together. I mean, look at that. Dot so fast into elbow. Catching out Akko. Catching out Akko with the util out. And then Byazik into the container, out of the teleport. There's just too much going on for the defenders to contend with. Even set up with multiple players, set up with the trips.
Now Zeta's economy beaten and bruised. So in here with a Marshall. We have this Zeta Division stack over towards his B side. They're going to go for it. Back through the wall, in they go, but Michaela's there for two. Suzu's Space Shell claims one, but Dodds more than happy to get aggressive. You are posted up over towards Hookah, but she can't get much done. With a singular Cypher over towards the A site now, has to drag herself over to B.
Dodds is just simply too good right now. I mean, simply cannot be shut down. And this was the question heading into this game, this stylistic clash where KRU really have that exceptional firepower in every game that they've displayed regionally against a Zeta team that thrives more on the team play, thrives more on some of these set moments. We've seen some really well-called rotations as well. But in some of these situations where they need to shut down Dodds with the overdrive, they're just not able to hit the crucial shots when there's that slide coming through, when there's the full speed running around with the buff Neon where you're just going any direction. It's simply a matter in a lot of those situations of not connecting the bullets.
Zeta Division in that round, though, kind of pressed into going for something aggressive early, given that their economy was in shambles. This time around, though, it's a different story. Timeout being called here. A little bit of discussion on the Visa Crew Blaze side of things now as Zeta Division looking at what might be their last full buy round of this map. If they cannot find success with it, they bring a Neural Theft into this round. Konya has a orbital strike on that attack side here. And again, two clutch rounds back to back from Michaela really gets KRU rolling on this attack side.
And of course, to be noted, this is KRU's map pick. And since they started running this comp, pure dominance on this map. And then even coming into this tournament, bringing in that Yoru, small adjustments, something new into the fold that Zeta's prep, you know, a little bit out the window. Tough to adapt to. Tough to particularly adapt to even heightened aggression from that second duelist on top of the Neon already.
Let's get set up.
Well, the most likely timeout called there by Visa Crew Blaze. Peppercita didn't too much. He had a whole lot to say. Maybe icing the kicker is the plan. In come KRU again, and it's this emphasis towards B Long and Octagon early in the round being shown.
Yeah, it's really been an exchange of the two extremities. Zeta a bit more passively, but still taking some shower control. And then, meanwhile, it is a fast take of B-Long and a fake. Faking, yep, just faking some of this presence. And yeah, there are the teleports.
Visa Crew Blaze definitely hoping for something in showers, someone to have pushed up, an easy pickup there, but
Scout destroyed.
Zeta playing pretty entrenched, anchoring on both of the sides. They might head to B again.
Almost out.
It looked like that might have been the intention for a moment, just given that Michaela was heading over towards B Long, was the player with the spike, but it's going to be a gather towards A. Tripwires to deal with, good counter to the Neon, but we haven't exactly seen that so far. KRU have done an excellent job of playing around them. Sort of natural utility counter contacting up off the wall, and here's the explosion through the flashes, but Serena, nice first shot, just purely through the smoke.
Orbital strike thrown up towards Heffen there. Serena's having to get out alive. You are now proven to be a bit of an issue. Dodds being brought down. No control of U-Haul yet for KRU, and they're going to have to pull the plug. But Akko's waiting for the cross here over towards Hookah. Michaela goes low. Konya is able to get there. But KRU limping now over towards their plan B.
This is a situation where Zeta, they should thrive. Really intelligent from Suzu. They're so aware of that flank coming in. Rami has tried to make a lot of plays like that happen. And now you have that circle around Akko coming through Octagon. Zeta, they need to make a lot of noise here. Make it easy for Akko to come in for free. And there it is.
Just Michaela, 10 points of health. A lot of work to do. And it won't be enough. Zeta Division stay in bind here. And I've got to say, when Zeta get to do this, when they get to play back, anchor these sites, have crossfires set up, they are very hard to break. KRU's trying to tease something out of them early in the round with these pops over towards B, towards Octagon, and then a swap towards Showers, but they get nothing.
And I liked what I saw there from Akko. It didn't have a massive impact on the round in totality. But it's been a bit late into this half where Zeta have finally began to, in that moment, exploit the lack of Sentinel on KRU, which is of course pretty common on Bind, but you have to find those moments where you're going to risk pushing all the way out of hookah, trying to get into market, get towards fountain, push out of shower, instill that fear in KRU that flanking presence could be there.
Dodds here again. This time it's over towards shower. We have a fast push for KRU. Whereas Zeta Division actually set up to push out of hookah. Tons of information for the defenders.
And here we go, they're going for it again, realizing that they can exploit that aspect of the KRU comp.
They've been cheating out of hookah habitually. Because KRU have been going to show presence towards B-Long and not that part of the map. It's the same again. Down A short with some mild showers control. Michaela isn't deep yet. This time though, it's the decoy that sets off the tripwire. Dodds wants to push up here. Deep. Nicely done, Moko down here. Relay Vault thrown out. Dodds tries to get over towards Vince, but Akko's holding the off angle. Still no plant until now. Beyonce going for it, and that wrap could have been everything, but Suzu is brought down before she can disrupt.
Now walking forward, but caught by Michaela. All on UR, that position on the bench, just a bit too strong. I mean, Dodds there was going to say if things began to fall apart, a little overly confident, pushing through the smoke when the Sky had two flashes, could have synced something up. But when you're 27 and 15, you're going to go for some risky plays.
Absolutely.
you're going to take a risk here and there. You're going to take on here there as well for just the awareness continuing into that round on that flank watch duty.
And again, we saw the setup, of course, that sees KRU Blaze able to set up these crossfires in a post plant. They had all the control of the front of the site. Dodds even pushing up for a little bit more. Same again. Pressure over towards shower here. Nothing found. Because Zeta have actually stacked their players over towards that B side of the map. It's a weaker buy for them here.
There was a birth sent out from Akko that didn't get a ping towards Fountain. So the map control take is on. Deep push. Zeta on defensive again. And it looks like they will have some conflict with KRU.
Dangerous
area so far forward, and Stinger in hand as well. Trouble for Akko.
She's pinched.
Going down. Yeah, just pinched. Nothing to do.
And it's KRU playing around that early tendency from Zeta to get out of hookah and try and control that part of the map. They've adapted pretty well over the last couple of rounds.
Fake teleport.
Dodds has got that ultimate available. Showstopper up here for Suzu. Entirely possible that's relevant now as KRU trend to the A side. And the Cypher util is actually set up at the back of the site this time as opposed to up on shore.
Just have to get into the site. It's essentially free. They can get the plant down essentially for free. Molly will offer a little bit of delay for Zeta. Dodds again, just the aggression.
She sees it.
Is crazy. Trying to get backside. Trying to break the trip, but can't. All right, maybe we give this one up. No, it's over. I mean, that's just ridiculous. There's no reason to go for that.
And Showstopper's shut down. Suzy not able to let the rocket go. UI though has decided to play up here towards the planter. Michaela brought down, and it's up to Romy.
Down A.
No time really to get this planted at all. And Zeta Division get another one. This time invested on controlling backside. KRU take the bait, push right into it.
Yeah, we are getting a little bit silly. And then, as you mentioned, good adjustment from Zeta. That is understanding that the KRU comp, their intention is to drop those smokes on the site in those two exact positions, up, either side of triple, and then push through. All of the flashes, presence from Dodds, and it's the passive trip that just makes that really annoying. The jump over 1-for-1 is a little silly. I'm not sure if I recommend that one necessarily.
What are you supposed to do? There's two trips in your way. You got to go for it at some point. You are there looking like a young cryo cell set up on that side inside the smoke as Brim, ready to take contact. KRU's economy here, still good for one more buy. Dodds, just for those keeping track at home, 1 kill away from the 30 within regulation. Pretty nasty stuff. And Dimensional Drift online from Beyonce here. I will say those Zeta Division have a lot to work with in this round. Orbital Strike, Seeker's up, Viper's been available for Moko.
And that's coming into a round where KRU's economy is actually on the line. 4 opportunities to close this game out.
It hangs in the balance.
And then Dodds 29-16. Least impressive Dodds game in 2020.
Most reasonable Dodds performance of the year. Still absolutely stunning. Like, can KRU land a plane here on Bind? This is a map that once Zeta Division got to Pacific, they weren't actually able to find any wins on. Very much a Visa KRU Blaze pick. One which they domestically were able to find great success. 2-0 on that in the LATAM South closing.
Yeah, frankly, I feel like this game is going kind of as expected. The firepower from KRU, insane. Zeta playing some great rounds.
The team play falling back behind a Cypher util, anchoring.
It is just KRU's pick that they're so good on. We'll see if they can take this now, close the game out. They have a dimensional drift, and when that gets popped, I want to see if Dodds is going to try to capitalize off the pings that are going to come onto this Viper. A good counter to the pit.
Spotted out. Now we know where Moko is. 2 go for this Beyonce. Oh, she's got to come through it. Okay, Moko going to be forced out by the flash. Still able to fight 2 with this judge, jury, executioner, you name it. Moko has lived that life. Spike loose inside the pits, and Zeta won't be moved.
That is just the trader judge player challenge. Impossible. Simply cannot be done.
I don't hate the idea of trying to use your dimensional drift, though, to get in there to get that early information.
Oh, yeah, it was a great idea. You can ping out the Viper, relay bolt in. It doesn't matter when this is a challenge, though, evidently. It was a good idea. It was a good plan.
We are saving. That is the plan here for Visa KRU Blaze. The things go horribly wrong. They really emphasize getting control of B-Long so much. Zeta are adapting beautifully, making some great reads, shifting the Cypher util back a couple of steps on both sides, daring Visa KRU Blaze to get into backside, getting tangled up in all of Serena's util.
Left.
And she's playing brilliantly off of that as well. There's just nothing really here to do for Visa KRU Blaze. And obviously in the next round, take these couple of rifles in, fair enough. With those 3 ultimates in this round for Zeta Division, absolutely instrumental.
We are headed to the classic Valorant
10 seconds left.
Attempt scenario, though, which is Zeta. They've expended all of their ultimates here. I mean, you can look at the orb status, little tough. And on the opposite end, KRU, they've got a chance to just build them up and close out the game when everybody presses the button at the same time. That is what is so challenging about a comeback in this game.
9 rounds up for Zeta Division, dubbed as the comeback team in their home region. Have a look at this here. That is just unreal. They even orbital strike into this pit. Moko saves off 3 players. They dare to test the Viper ultimate.
Let's choke them.
I'd like to see a bit of emphasis here on Michaela getting close to those Seekers, the player that, aside from Rami, will be next up to maybe have an ult, you know, when we get to around possibly the last round of the second
It's about round 25.
That far. If Zeta can bring it that far, they have 3 players on B, all out hookah rush. Not something KRU have really done before.
Love this change up from Arco, getting under that hookah window. Ends up being a 1-for-1, and Dodge gets an upgrade in weaponry. There's still this Viper. Playing towards elbow when Suzu had an opportunity there. But the curtain comes down.
Spike planted.
Comes down on her round as well.
Here.
Still a loose-ended elbow. That's Moko.
Here.
Players coming in through from CT. Michaela, okay, with the Bucky.
And Dodds ready to swing off of the contact from Michaela as well.
Zeta have been slow, methodical in the past. They've got to figure it out here. Play a disadvantage for them. Trying to clear that close corner with the molly. Here's Serena. 1 down. Dodds fights the second, and it's up to Moko to salvage things for Zeta Division. The time is short, and the triple face gets it done for Visa KRU Blaze. Their map pick is Bind, and they take it.
And frankly, I am impressed with Zeta on this map against such a dominant Bind team. We got what we expected from KRU. Fast play, aggression off of all those flashes, pushes, backside, and dominant most rounds in the firepower game. But Zeta really standing up to the test in terms of the team play.
Yeah, great opening here at Game Changers Champions 2024. We're stepping away briefly, but up next, Insu and the analyst desk are going to break down map number 1.